Uranus just, it's trying to be different. It's trying to be unique, exciting, different. So that's going to be wherever it is in your chart. So do you have Uranus on the rising side of your chart or on the setting side of your chart? If it's on the rising side, you're going to be projecting where you're coming. It's the half of your chart, the rising side is, so you're projecting your motives, you're pushing it out to, building up the intensity to an identity, and you're projecting it out to people to see how far you can go, to see what you can accomplish in life at your midheaven. So you're projecting on any one of these different layers out to see how it's going to affect others. You're instigating it. You're making it. So you put Uranus on the rising side, suddenly you're having to instigate more eccentrically. You're having to be a little bit more independent. You're pushing more excitingly or more shockingly. I got to shock. I got to put things out in some area. I'm going to be the one that shocks. I'm going to put it out. I want you to see how exciting or how shocking or how different, how unique I have, or what unique ideas I have, or how different a person I have, or even how you can see the different friends that I have, that I'm talking to, and because I'm in this exciting group, or I have this unusual, exciting job. Like we're projecting our need for excitement, and at the same time, that's trying to be more independent, more unique, more radical. And as we're trying to project that radicalness, when it succeeds, we're just shocking and we're disturbing everybody else, getting attention. If it's not, we're projecting things and we're feeling, we're getting more stability. So it can come out, one way it can come out as a blatant, shocking, independent way that I'm projecting. But a lot of the times, most of the times, there's an anxiety about it because I can't, how can I be that exciting? How can I push that much? It's too disturbing. And we're not confident enough to do that. So many of the times this rising Uranus is an insecurity where we're almost not stable enough to project it. But we certainly project the sense of, I don't fit in here, I don't belong here. This is too crystallized for me. So it can come as a worry, as an anxiety, that I can identify that, but I'm not showing it. Like you are, but you're not. But if it's negative, it becomes a worry, an anxiety, and then a kind of neurotic factor. So you're supposed to be a little excited about and try to be different wherever Uranus is. And you're supposed to have to work to make room for it, but it doesn't mean that Uranus is supposed to predominate everything and be the sole justification for everything that you're doing. Gee, for someone going to school where everyone had the set uniforms and everything's the same, and someone just trims up their dress a little bit more, it's a little shocking. It's going to get a lot of attention, and you probably get sent home from school to have to get it changed. So there's a lot of different roles around that. If you're the kid, how can that be? Why should you be able to do this? If you're the parent, oh my God, what do you want to do that for? If you're the teacher, there's no way that's happened here. Not in my class. But to the other students, wow, that was exciting. Would you dare do that? I wouldn't dare do that, because look at the attention, look at the problems that came in from it. But to the person who did it, yeah, they may have got disrupted, but they made their mark. So when we get to ask, you often see, you can see the presence of these other planets, but you can see how they affect the other planets more clearly. Like you see how Uranus will, when we get to the aspects, you really see clearly how these planets have an effect in destabilizing things. But some people want instability. You know, like, who's Luke Skywalker if there's not a rebel base? You know, like, okay, when it's setting, you're not instigating it. You're reacting to the excitement of other people. Instead of trying to be the exciting person, you might try to marry the exciting person, or align with the exciting person, or take an exciting perspective from your reaction to the environment. Oh, someone did that, or someone took that. Like it's a reactive. That shock is coming on the reactive side of your chart, and you notice something different, and you take it in, and it begins to affect your behavior. But it's from reacting, not instigating. So there's a rising instigative excitement, and there's a reactive excitement. You know, like, oh, how many jokes or tricks did people try and play on somebody to get a reaction from their partner, to shock their partner, or whatever, shock the kids or whatever. There's the people who want to do the shock the person being shocked. That's so when you have Uranus on that setting side, you're attracting people that are innovative and exciting and unstable. How come everyone I meet isn't stable enough to provide a rent or get married or make a commitment to, but they're exciting. So in this process of that simple theme, each house will represent a challenge where you're trying to be a little special there, or a little different there. You need a little room to breathe, to do something different there. And if you're in a relationship that doesn't allow for that, well, that's the threat. It's not going to last long, or it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have to work this in. If someone's going to know you, they got to know how your Uranus works. Are you the shocker or the shocked? Do you want to shock, or do you want to be shocked? Do you want to excite people, or do you want to be excited by people? Let's go see the band. It's so exciting. Let's be the band. You know, let's do this. It's different things. So the only way you'll get this is by get 10 or 15 charts. Get your main charts that you're looking at, the family and things, and see how it worked. If someone has a really shocking quality, go and see where that is. And is this so? But really, we're looking at the house, and we're looking at the same categories each time, and each planet is throwing its weight on one side or the other. And it's a different bias. But in that different bias is a simple little thing, but it has profound behavioral repercussions, profound factors in one's character. Really, if you're going to do some therapy with someone, you're going to try and get some therapy to put yourself together, you have to be able to understand this dichotomy and how this can go either way. Oh. So if astrology is shocking and exciting and interesting to be in, I got to go do it. Or I got to meet some astrologers, or I got to be around the people who know about this so I can learn more. Both can relate to the excitement of the astrology, but at the same time, two different relationships to it. Now, across a lifetime, Uranus will go around your whole chart once. So 42 years of your life, it'll go more on one side than on the other. We get to this when we get into timings. But right now, I want you to just think and see the rising projective instigative side of your chart. Houses 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10. Just that part of the sky is coming up. If Uranus is on that side, the shock is coming out of you. You're making it happen. You're instigating it, whether consciously or not. It's going to stand out. Even if everything else in your life is shy and you don't want to project, it's still going to happen that way. Sorry, I didn't want to disturb things too late. You already disturbed it. You already changed it. Whereas if it's reacting, you want those disruptions. You don't want everything just be the same all the time. It gets interesting when there's different people and shocking people around you. So when that's there, that's interesting. That's stimulating. You know, I don't want to be with the guy next door. I want someone different. I want someone that's going to take different places or whatever. But it's harder to find. When you get the excitement, it's hard to get stability. So you might project your own thing. If you're doing your own thing, maybe nobody else might care for it. But if you notice, but you might have to make more effort, more Saturn effort yourself to get enough stability to really capitalize on that uniqueness. On the setting side, you're meeting so many exciting people, and you may not think you're that exciting yourself, but it's stimulating to be part of this team or this group, and you're trying to take in the input. But there has to be some limits to how much excitement, how much you can back it up or integrate it. Simple words, but as a factor in our lives, is it really true I do this? I mean, it would be easy to spend 2 hours just stretching just this category. But each of these main primary categories are so powerful. So once you got them, seeing a planet in a house in the other categories, it just falls into place against the background of these. So our second category, above or below the horizon. Do you have Uranus above the horizon or below? Where's the excitement in your life? Well, you better come to my house. You want to see excitement. Or let's go to this conference. Let's go out there. Let's go do this. I'm working at this. I'm doing this. I got a performance. I got a show to do. I got something to do. I'm special there. I don't want to be home, dear. I don't want to stay home. I got to go and do something. So the objective functional excitement, the ability to shock or make changes in the objective social functional world around you, both by projecting and by reacting. You can react to an exciting, say an exciting new band comes in, you know about it first, and you can be sharing it with other people, and you're all reacting. Like when the Beatles came in, they were sending out the shock, but everyone was reacting extremely. So that, like, there was a more tremendous subjective reaction, but it was a social phenomena. So out in the world, relationships, friendships, status, business, when Uranus is above the horizon, that's the point that gets destabilized, and that's the point that tries to be different or tries to find a new solution, a new take on things. You don't want to be in the conservative job or the conservative position. You got to see a way to break through or do something different. This is what I'm doing. But as soon as you're doing something exciting, it's almost a threat to anybody who's stable. And you think they need the excitement to lighten it up, and they're thinking this could jeopardize what we're doing. So, there's a word in what was it, Donovan song or Dylan song? Dylan, that was freedom is a word I rarely use without thinking. Like, it has, if you're going to be free, from what? From who? If you're going to be responsible, which side are you on? How did it work for you? And not everybody has a clear sense, an equal sense of responsibility or duty or justice. So if it's unfair, it's easy to justify Mars, Jupiter, or aggression, or look for a different way of doing things. So you can find that difference by having social groups or situations where you do things different and people are noticing this shocking you outside, or you can find it in a subjective way where I may be taking this job, but at home I'm doing this, or personally I have my own excitement as a personal thing, as something I'm into, how I use my money or how I'm living, you know, like it's funny, Canada has the Sun and Uranus in the fourth house, I believe, yeah. And so in Cancer, so you think home, security, it's there. But really, most of the world is thinking igloos, living in igloos. But really, we try and find innovative ways to live. But it's not like everybody else wants to live that way. Not everybody else likes the Great White North. Even a lot of people here want to get to Florida. You know, so it's like electricity. You can see its effects, but it's hard to know exactly what it is. So when you have Uranus above your social functional world, it's going to be unstable, shaky, excitable. That can be great, or it can be a curse. It could cause great breakthroughs that are so exciting, or it can be really shocking and anxious and cause a lot of insecurity or instability. I never fit in. I can't fit in here. I'm out of this place. I have Uranus up in the 10th house. I never worked for anybody. Well, since I never, in my whole life, I'm working, if I'm doing a chart for someone working, but to have a job or a salary, maybe I've worked 13 months in my life for other people. Once I had a job for 6 months to pay off a debt. Usually it was to the first paycheck or to the first time the boss would speak to me in a bad attitude. Don't talk to me like that. I'm out of here. I don't need to take that. And that was that's so predominant in me. My whole life I haven't worked for other people. But astrology became a really exciting thing that allowed it to work through. Otherwise, who knows where it'd be. You know, like, but So once you get an excitement, you know there's going to be you're going to have to work Saturn to build up to reinforce the Uranus.